Hello all, and welcome to this afternoon's beer review, which I am dubbing the very hot and muggy review because it's very hot and muggy. Probably going to be dubbing a lot of reviews that until it gets to about October, November when it starts to chill down again. Yeah, quite hot right now. Let's go and see what the temperature is, or maybe not. No, yeah, now I got the thing blocking my thing again. 81 degrees? Yeah, nah, I don't think that's 81 degrees. I think it's a lot hotter than that. I think it's a lot hotter than that. Anyways, what are we reviewing today? Well, as you know, there is no better beer to review on a hot, muggy day than a high proof dark stout. And I'm being facetious here, people. Um, I got this because I felt in the mood for a stout. Saw it at Tamura's. Uh, this is a stovepipe's worth of and it's not classified as an Imperial Stout, even though it's 8.1. It's classified as an Oatmeal Stout. It's a bit more expensive than the stovepipes they sell of the IPAs. This was a little bit, this was around $5. I think maybe between $4 and $5. And yeah, let's just go and read the back, shall we? Dragonstooth Stout. Dragonstooth Imperial Oatmeal Stout is rich, velvety, and complex, combining notes of chocolate, oats, and citrus. Citrus? Okay, and the rest of the stuff is about the brew house. I guess I'll read it since I've already mentioned it. Brew house. We opened our doors in 1996 when bold art and music defined Seattle. We carry that same spirit in the way we brew our beer. It's about taking chances, learning from our missteps, and changing perceptions. Pull up a bar stool at elysianbrewing.com. Okay. 8.1 ABV, and let's go to the website, which has a little bit, well, not really their website, but Untapped, which goes and gives the made with 10% rolled oats, crystal barley, crystal, Munich, and chocolate malts. Bittered with Magnum, finished with Cascade and Centennial hops. Okay, that tells me that this is probably going to be somewhat of have aspects of dark IPA, and I am not a fan of dark IPAs. I'm hoping those bittering hops are not too intense. I prefer my bitterness in my stouts coming from the malts. I'm going to be pouring into my little scene, not much used stout glass because I wanted to give it a little bit of love. And this was in my refrigerator. I took it out and played like a round of Street Fighter 2. Well, not a round, but a playthrough. Basically, I play the same games over and over again to the point where it's like I don't lose, so it's like almost perfectly timed for about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on the character. So yeah, let's go and pour this out now, shall we? And hopefully it's warm enough to properly express itself. Because you got to express yourself. Is that going to get me copyright striked? Okay. Trying to get some light through here. It is very opaque. Maybe just a slight amber ruby penetrates when the light gets through on the very bottom. With a brown, very brown, frothy head. Oh yeah. The hop note is quite apparent in the nose here. Yeah. Smells like a dark chocolate with orange bar. So yeah, you have some of those dark chocolate notes, cacao nibs, and also a bright note of citrus as well. Maybe some hints of berries. You know, like dried blackberries. Elements of, you know, dark toasted bread. Yeah. A little bit too cold. So I'm going to go and give it the old Palmer. Fairly nice bouquet. A little bit muted, but that's more probably due to the weather than anything else. Yeah. On to the palate now, shall we? Yeah. While not as stiffly hopped as a dark IPA, there is definitely a hop element to the palate here. Up front, semi-sweet chocolate, um, burnt sugar, burnt brown sugar notes in the mids. And then a lasting bitter finish that is a mixture of both the dark malts and kind of a resinous hop finish. And that's the thing that really clashes with me. And this is kind of a personal thing. I know other people like that. I do not. Mouthfeel is thick and chewy, but not too oily. Pretty smooth due to the oatmeal. Man, that finish is just killing me. Fairly pleasant top note, though. Got some herbaceous notes. Even in the long finish, those herbaceous notes are there. Chocolate notes. Not getting too many coffee notes, but that's because it's the hop bitterness is more overpowering. I would think the elements that kind of give a stout a very coffee-like note. You know, instead, it's just this resinousness mixed with burnt in the finish. Oof. Again, some of that top note, especially when it's on the palate, you know, and not swallowed, has a bit of a hop floralness and um, sort of oranginess to it, uh, kind of embedded, you know, a little bit more effervescent above like that roasted and chocolatey malt note there. And it's pleasant like that, but it's resin on my palate. I kind of just want to take a sip of water right now. This isn't a dark IPA, by the way. A dark IPA, that resin, those bitter notes those hot bitter notes would be hitting me right up front. And this one is fairly, you actually got a really interesting front and mids, but it's just ruined for me by that finish of dark malts and hop resin just lasting and lasting on the palate. So I kind of like what the hop aromatics are doing, but not all those alpha oils on my tongue. Yeah. Kind of wonder what the IBU is on this. Oh, I forgot this other part here. Artwork by local Seattle tattooer and good friend Joe Hu, Pierced Hearts Tattoo Parlor. Yeah. So, actually, that'd be kind of cool for a tattoo. It looks really classic, you know? So I think your mileage may vary with this one. I can recognize a lot of complexity here. Um, but my own personal taste means that I'm not going to be revisiting this one again, unless somebody puts a gun up to my head and says, "Drink this beer or die." You know, um, I just do not like stiffly. The combination of bittering, strongly bittering New World style hops and dark malting. It just never works for me. And that's just part of my growing sort of discontent with strongly hopped beers like IPAs. Uh, it's excuse me. It just doesn't work for me in a stout form. However, if it is something that works for you in a stout form, I think that you would actually like this one quite a bit. It's pretty solidly made. Like I said, there's a lot of nuance and notes there. It's just that finish for me, that long-lasting finish. Um, it's not pleasant to me. That particular taste note is not pleasant to me. Some people like it. So, Elysian Dragonstooth Stout. Um, this particular beer was not for me. I did not enjoy it. But at the same time, as somebody who reviews beers, I have to say this is actually pretty good when it comes to like, okay, I'm tasting this, I'm tasting this. Oh, that's an interesting transition. That's an interesting contrast there. Um, and so I think that if you're a dark IPA fan, or if or if stouts with hopping don't really bother you that much, you probably actually dig this quite a bit. But again, not me. Um, and that, folks, is your beer review for this afternoon. Cheers.